The life of Karim Lala Bombay. The year was 1940. The city was alive, restless, and growing faster than anyone could imagine. Ships from across the world touched its ports, carrying silk, spices, liquor, and sometimes gold bars hidden in sacks of rice. The streets of Bombay were crowded with workers, dreamers, and gamblers. At night, the city transformed into a different world. A world of smoke-filled bars, illegal liquor dens, and secret gambling tables where fortunes could be lost in a single roll of dice. It was here, in this world of chaos and opportunity, that a man from the rugged mountains of Afghanistan set foot. His real name was Abdul Karim Sher Khan, but the city would soon give him another, a name that carried both fear and respect. They called him Karim Lala. The arrival Karim Lala was born in 1911 in Kunar province, Afghanistan. His early life was nothing extraordinary. A boy from a Pathan family raised among traditions of honor, loyalty, and toughness. The Pathans were known for their fearlessness. Fighting was in their blood. Respect and revenge were matters of life and death. As a young man, Karim was restless. Afghanistan had little to offer, and the stories of Bombay, the jewel of British India, called him like a siren. By the Yavruzee, late 1930s, he found himself among the many Afghans who traveled to Bombay looking for work at the docks. Life at the docks was brutal. Men fought for jobs unloading cargo from the giant ships. But Karim was strong, taller and tougher than most. His broad shoulders, piercing eyes, and heavy Pathani accent made him stand out. Slowly, people began to notice him. But Karim wasn't content with earning pennies at the docks. He had ambition, and he also had fists that few dared to challenge. The first fights Bombay in the 1940s was crawling with gangs. Local goons controlled liquor, gambling, and smuggling. Money was made not by law, but by muscle. Karim Lala's first reputation came from street fights. Whenever disputes broke out, people would whisper, "Call the Pathan." He fought not just with strength, but with an iron sense of honor. If someone cheated, abused the poor, or threatened the weak, Karim would step in. And unlike other goons who relied on knives and crude weapons, Karim's fists alone were enough to break bones. Within a few years, he became a leader of the Afghan immigrants in the city. They were poor, struggling, often cheated by locals. But under Karim's protection, they found safety. It was the birth of what would later be called the Pathan Gang. The rise of the Pathan Gang by the late 1940s, Karim Lala's gang had carved out a place in Bombay's underworld. His men, mostly fellow Pathans, ran gambling dens, controlled money lending, and offered protection services. But Karim Lala was different from other dons. He was not just a thug. He had the brain of a businessman and the heart of a patriarch. He introduced a system that shocked the city, the dara. The dara was like a court. Anyone, rich or poor, could come to him with their disputes. Land disagreements, unpaid debts, personal fights. Karim would listen and then give his judgment. His word was final. And because he was both feared and respected, nobody dared to disobey. For the poor, this was faster and more effective than the slow, corrupt legal system. For the rich, it was convenient. One meeting with Karim, and problems were settled. The name Karim Lala began to spread. To some, he was a criminal. To others, he was justice itself, the Don with a white heart. Unlike the bloodthirsty image people had of gangsters, Karim Lala carried himself with dignity. He dressed in clean, traditional Pathani suits, kept a commanding but calm presence, and rarely lost his temper. He did not believe in unnecessary killings. Yes, if someone betrayed him or crossed his gang, the punishment was severe. But Karim never indulged in mindless violence. In fact, he became known for helping the poor. Families who had no money for weddings, medical expenses, or emergencies often found envelopes of cash delivered quietly by his men. This gave him an almost Robin Hood-like aura. In the chawls and slums of Bombay, Karim Lala was more respected than politicians or policemen. Clash with rivals, but no underworld, dawn rises without rivals. As the 1950s came, Bombay's smuggling business exploded. Gold, liquor, and foreign goods flooded the city through illegal routes. Three names began to dominate: Karim Lala, the Pathan Dawn of gambling and extortion; Haji Mastan, the suave smuggler, always dressed in white, with Bollywood at his feet; Varadarajan Mudaliar, the South Indian Don who ruled with cunning. Together, they formed the first trio of Mumbai's underworld. Sometimes rivals, sometimes allies, their balance of power kept the city under their shadow for decades. The court of respect, by now, Karim's dara had become legendary. Even high-profile businessmen and Bollywood stars sought his arbitration. Stories spread of actors and producers visiting his home, bowing in respect, and leaving only after touching his feet. The police, too, learned to live with him. Corrupt officers took their share, honest ones kept their distance. Karim had influence so deep that few dared to challenge him. But the city was changing. A new generation of gangsters was rising, hungrier, deadlier, and without Karim's old-school code of honor. Among them was a young man named Dawood Ibrahim.